okay? You might not hear the music, it might not be terribly loud, but this will be funny. Alright, hey everyone, welcome to another Big Fat Vegan RuCap. Today we are recapping RuPaul Drag Race Season 7, Episode 6, RuHollywood Stories. Now help me welcome to the stage my co-host, Miss Laura Yaz. Yay! Well, welcome to the show, Laura.
Oh my god, I could barely keep from laughing that whole time.
You look good this episode. I like your lighting.
Oh, thanks.
Why am I resting my fingers here like a Hitler mustache?
I don't know. Thinking.
I'm bringing Hitler back. Oh. Anyway, I'm sorry. Wow, where did that come from?
Yeah, I'd rather Hitler never come back. Just me, though.
Here's the thing. I think you can rest easy. I don't think he's coming back.
Me neither.
Yeah. So today, Ms. Cracker got her wish. Talk about the power of the spoken word and manifesting things. Ariana Grande is actually on the show. Ms. Cracker spoke that into existence.
Hilarious. Should we go ahead and give Ariana Grande a vegan shout out because she's vegan? What?
Is she vegan?
What? She sure is, girl.
I didn't know that. We gotta make her our musical guest for one of our next episodes.
Oh my god, that's a great idea.
We should do that for our anniversary episode.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, before I forget, while we're chatting, I'm gonna put it in the script for May 1st, so I don't forget.
Okay, great. That'll be a really good use of this time.
Wouldn't it though? Well, you can start us off while doing that.
Alright, I'm gonna talk about the RuHollywood Stories.
First off, there's a mini. I think when I saw this episode at Industry, I don't remember seeing the beginning part of the mini challenge where they're pulling points out of the underwear. I think I missed that. So what the hell was the objective of that game?
Yeah, well, it was to get points.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so they have a little mini challenge, which is just a little, sorry, this light that I have on is driving the pucks crazy. They're all, like, trying to hump my truck.
My lighting brings all the bugs to the yard.
It sure does. Anyway, so it's very distracting. They're very large. Anyway, so there's just a little silly, fun game mini challenge where there's numbers and monsters in the boys' trousers, and they're all really handsome boys.
I bet there's monsters in those boys' trousers. Ooh, this is a hot
anyway, It was just about whoever could get the most points, so it wasn't like a skilled or a drag related game. It was just a silly game.
Oh, by the way, we have one for your team. You know, like the tall, hot. Well, they're all tall and hot. Like the redheaded guy on the pit crew.
I'm not sure. I know the redheaded guy. I don't know.
He's a redheaded pit crew member. He's kind of like the third main one. He's straight.
Oh, really?
He is of the heterosexual persuasion.
Well, I am gonna like any straight guy who's on the pit crew because that's that cool guy. Anyway, but so Ginger wins the mini challenge. Whatever, she just wins. It's luck. It's it's not like you do anything. So Ginger wins the mini challenge, and the thing is though that Ginger then got to pick the teams, and I think Ginger was super smart picking her own team because she picked Katya and Kennedy. And although I'm 50-50 on Kennedy, she does tend to deliver. So,
yeah, definitely. You can count on her for certain things.
So I thought that Ginger picked smart. And then she also seemed to sort of be kind of targeting Max by putting her with, like, the crappiest person and the bitchiest person. And then, I don't know. What was the other team? Fame and Pearl. That's also strategy right there, putting Fame and Pearl together because they like hate each other's guts. So yeah, and then they have to do the RuHollywood reenactments. I thought the premise was really cute. I don't know that I was super knocked out with anybody's performance, to be totally honest. I liked Pearl as Michelle probably the most.
Yeah, Pearl's really surprising me lately. I didn't think she would be such an outgoing, funny, like, character actor, but she's really delivering.
Yeah, she was really funny as Michelle. And then Jaden was really funny as Ru too. She just sort of sucked before she got to the good stuff because there were like parts that I felt like were super hilarious, but she seemed to really be struggling in the shoot. But yeah, I don't know.
It was totally worth it for me just for the moment when Jaden's like, I forgot my line.
I know, it was funny. She's funny. I don't know. And then Kennedy also seemed to have kind of a weird Ru, but she, totally got a free pass because she had Katya and Ginger, who were both really good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, no, but I thought that. So then, what was it? Was that the Death Becomes Her? It was.
Yeah, this was Death Becomes Her.
Yeah, Death Becomes Her runway challenge.
Yeah.
And Katya was definitely my favorite on that one. And
sorry, I was distracted until this moment. By the way, I just updated the script for our anniversary episode next month.
Well, it's going to be the shortest episode ever because I'm already to the runway. Did you want to talk about?
Well, let's see. So,
do you want to talk about?
Just about the challenge. I don't.
Of course you do. Of course.
No, I mean about the mini challenge though. I don't get how you can be this unfunny, and how you can be this bad at delivering lines. Like, all the boys will want to eat this cake. Like, where did you go? Where are you? Where are you? Wake up.
Are you talking about Kennedy?
Yeah, talking about how you can count on her to deliver, and then it's like, you were so that's your only line. That's all you can do, right? So find a way to make that funny. Like, were you into what you were delivering there? Would you sit back and yeah, I'd pay $20 to see that?
Yeah. And even Ginger, who loves Kennedy, obviously, was like, I'm sending a prayer up to Jesus.
Oh, by the way, throwback to last episode, the Despy Awards, speaking of Ginger, lived for Pearl's impression of Ginger. I didn't even know she had that
totally.
in her. Like, where is all this energy suddenly coming from and all this acting ability, and why didn't we see it sooner?
Hey, I think that Pearl had energy. What I think she was lacking was confidence. You've heard me say this before. These girls are just suffering from insecurities is all, and it affects their performance because they get buckled.
Yeah.
It happens when you're suddenly being evaluated when you're normally somebody that everybody loves and loves to come see, and then suddenly everything's under the gun. You feel like pressure to perform, and you don't do as well. And so what happened with Pearl, at least from my point of view, obviously I'm not inside her head, but from my point of view as a viewer, is Pearl was just really feeling the pressure and not doing well, and then basically Ru totally smacked her down, and she was at the point where she was like, well, I don't care. If I'm leaving, I'm leaving. Mm-hmm. Whatever. I'm just going to do, and she says it to Max in the Despy Awards, she says, I'm just going to go out, going to do great, we're going to be really funny, and then if I leave, I leave. And after that, she was liberated. It was once she let go of the results, she was smooth sailing.
Yeah. Speaking of people getting in their heads, Miss Fame during the rehearsal where she's like, I don't know, am I supposed to talk about my feelings or not? I mean, I feel Miss Fame is someone who's very easy to make fun of because of how emotional she gets, but I was watching that scene and thinking, how much of this is editing? How do we know that right before that moment, Ru didn't stop her and say, talk to me, Miss Fame, you look like you're in your head, what's going on? And then
it wasn't Ru, it was Ross.
What's that?
It wasn't Ru, it was Ross. Are you about to...
Right, whoever was on set at that moment that could have asked her, why don't you tell us what you're going through? I mean...
He does! They show it! They show it. Ross says, Miss Fame says, I'm having a moment right now, and Ross says, what's going on? Tell me. He does.
I forgot that moment.
It's just that she goes on, and it seems kind of ridiculous, and she won't let it go, and then, Pearl and Jaden are like, that's okay, come on, girl, we can talk about it later. And then Miss Fame is like, well, I just don't know. I mean, should I talk about my feelings or should I? And then Ross says, oh my God, I feel like I'm dating you.
Best line of the episode.
Hilarious.
Best line of the episode.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just seemed, she unraveled for a moment. I love Miss Fame.
Untucked and unraveled. And lastly, before the runway challenge, there's just a moment that I wanted to acknowledge in the workroom where Jaden is talking about like how her family knows that she does drag, but they don't acknowledge that she's gay. And like I just have to say, like as someone who's out to my family, and like my family loves like me being gay, and they love that I'm a drag queen. Like there's a fine line between being grateful for my family being supportive and also being like you don't get points for not doing like not doing something you shouldn't do, right? Like, well, I never tried to kill my son for being gay. Yay, points. Right. Like you should be accepting and loving. So like I don't like the idea that I should be grateful for people being accepting of me. Like that's just what I consider to be like the bar should be set there at respect and acceptance. So that was a touching moment. Yeah, so there's that.
I was really sad to hear that about her family.
Yeah. I don't know. It just sucks that you'd be on that show, and then and that your family wouldn't just be like, "Oh my God, my son made it. He's on RuPaul's Drag Race. Look at him." You know.
I know.
If
I had a son on RuPaul's Drag Race, I mean, I don't know. It breaks my heart. You know, if my parents had a son on RuPaul's Drag Race, I mean, my God, they'd be having a party every Monday with everybody over at the house to watch it. You know,
unless your son was Laganja Estranja, then I would be like, my son. Oh, he died when he was 16 in a car crash. Yeah.
No, if your son was Laganja Estranja, you'd be like, I can't wait to start watching those shows, baby.
Quick story about Laganja Estranja.
They're over?
Quick story about Laganja Estranja. Keisha Carr, I did the roast of Keisha Carr at Industry, and afterwards we all went out, and Keisha was talking about, I think in Oklahoma City or somewhere, she did some show at some club, and Laganja was hired. This was after Drag Race, or maybe, or whatever. Laganja was hired to do the party, and she wrote into her contract that you have to give her time on the microphone. Like, she's not just there to do numbers and walk around and whatever. You have to give her mic time to talk about it. What?
I'm gasping.
Yeah. So, and what was the big thing she said on the microphone? She was stone out of her mind, surprised, and she takes the microphone, and all she says to the audience is, I think maybe it was Oklahoma City. She's like, Oklahoma City, let's get sickening! All right, Oklahoma City, let's get sickening! Keisha Carr leaves, goes up to the dressing room, hangs out, smokes a cigarette, whatever. 10 minutes later, she comes back down to the club, and she walks in on Laganja Estranja, still, sickening! Come on, Oklahoma City! Let's get sickening! For 15 minutes, just the same thing over and over. That's what gets written into her contract that she has to get to do.
I would never go see Laganja Estranja. I don't think you could pay me to go see Laganja. You know what I would pay an unbelievable amount of money to see, though, is to see Alaska do Laganja. Yeah. I would pay
apparently Laganja
more money than I have.
Apparently, recently, Laganja performed in New York City, and someone mentioned, she was just, hateful and entitled and unprofessional, and that there was just no good came of her. But
she didn't seem like she got any good messages from everything that happened to her. I was sort of hoping that at the reunion, maybe she would be like, I don't know, I watched myself and my Lanta. I don't know. I was
my Lanta.
Because I feel like that happens. I feel like that happened with Roxy quite a bit. I felt like
it happened with Rebecca Glasscock. She watched herself and she's like, ooh, this is me. I don't like me. Let's change. Yeah, and she changed. She's a peach.
I know. I actually don't even think Rebecca seems that bad in season 1, truthfully. Mm-hmm. Compared to Roxy or
Roxy.
Who was the other one? Oh, Fifi. Who
Fifi O'Hara is an angel in person. She is as sweet as pie.
the other thing that really bugs me is that Fifi gets so much flack, and it's like, did you see all those parts where she talks about her insanely crazy, horrific childhood? Because cut her some slack.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I've hung out with Fifi after me and her and Bob like went to some diner together, and like she's just such a grounded, generous, open-hearted person. It's funny because I really liked to dislike her when I was watching her on the show.
Yeah.
And in person, she's just such a sweet, warm-hearted, relatable person. It's really funny the difference between, which really makes me think, how much are they asking them to say certain things, and then how much are they editing them?
Yeah, well, it's interesting also because I think Fifi also probably saw herself and probably changed a little from seeing herself because Fifi really, I have a soft spot for Fifi because she's a domestic violence survivor, and so she has a very special place for me, and I'm very proud of her for sharing her story in a public way, and but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying with Fifi in the reunion, and then also same thing with Roxy in the reunion. You saw some changes in them in the way they were talking. And, who knows how genuine any of it is, and who knows what is what. But when you saw Laganja in that reunion, it was like she was just as baked as apple pie. And just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was not, I was not feeling like, oh, Laganja. I was like, oh, Laganja.
Yeah. But then again, I even, not about Laganja, there's no question what's going on there, but even with Fifi, I wonder, how are we talking about Fifi? We're talking about past seasons, but I have to wonder if at a certain point they're just like, look, I mean, first off, I wonder, are these girls compensated even if you don't win the show? You've got to be paid something to be doing this show, right?
Yeah, I think you get a per diem, yeah.
You must be getting something. But in addition to this, like whatever you're not being paid, you are going to experience that much of a career boost. The minute it's announced that you're on Drag Race, you start getting bookings around the planet. And and of course, Ru gets a cut of that for however long, probably 5-10 years or something crazy. But I wonder to what extent they're just like, look, we're casting you as the bitch character, so your instruction, your agreement is you're obligated to be as bitchy as possible. That's what we need to edit you.
No, I'm pretty sure they don't do that. They do look, you need to read Reality Bites Back, but I know you don't like to read though. But what they do is they just orchestrate situations on purpose, and when they start to figure stuff out, then the producers create situations where they think interesting stuff is going to happen. For example, what we were just talking about, how we were so pissed that Trixie and Pearl were in the bottom together. I think that it's possible that the producers were like, hey, Ru, these two are friends. It's going to be the most it's going to be the most interesting thing if they have to lip sync against each other because they are close. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I don't know how much they're like, I mean, I'm sure they encourage them to say this and that in their interviews and stuff. But, and the other thing is, they just get you talking. I mean, that's the real key to reality television is they just keep asking questions. They keep getting you talking, and you just start saying all this stuff.
I can't imagine how I would fare in a reality television situation.
Oh, me too. Especially
they wouldn't even need to ask me anything. They'd say, "Hey, how are you?" And they would get 30 minutes of they'd be like, "You know what? We're actually going to send you home because we have everything that we need. We can edit you together."
No, I actually feel like if you watch some of these RuCaps, you're going to see some of the stuff you said and be like, "Oh, I was mean," but it's like. I mean,
I would never say that. I would never say that.
The other thing is, it's in the moment, and so can you imagine, like, say, you have a tiff with somebody while you're working on a thing, and then you go into a room to talk about it. It's on your mind, so you're immediately going to be in that place, and then, later you're like, oh, I had a tiff with somebody about a lyric. It was nothing,
I am not here to talk about Delilah Brooks. She's dead to me. Dead.
R.I.P. Delilah.
If only. Anyway, so Runway Challenge. They were supposed to give their Death Becomes Her looks. And let's talk about who nailed it and who didn't. First off, Katya, who won the challenge. She had me at Shark Week. I mean, the minute she walks out on stage, looking like Daryl Hannah with a shark on her, I thought that was just so genius. There was no topping it.
Yeah, she was my favorite for sure.
Yeah, she at this point in the show, she's really becoming my favorite. Now that Trixie's actually off the show, now my eye is suddenly on Katya. I'm like, I think she is the queen with the most. She's pretty. She's fierce.
Wow.
She splits. She can dance, lip sync. She can turn looks. She's funny. She's nice. She's cute as a boy. She's got great backstory. She's got heart. She's humble. She's modest. I think she's got it all.
Well, I don't know why you don't like Ginger.
I like Ginger. I love Ginger Minj. I absolutely adore her. She's just not my favorite.
Yeah, she's my favorite. But I also I'm really like sort of secretly, wow, sorry. The bugs. They're unbelievable.
I just imagine that by the end of this episode, you are going to be covered head to toe in bugs like some Björk video.
This one is really amazing looking, this bug. It's green. Okay, anyway. This is going to sound stupid, but I feel this way.
It's never stopped me. It's never stopped me.
It's never really stopped me either. I want there to be a plus size queen win. I
was going to say the same thing. I don't think that sounds stupid at all. But like,
it's a skin.
I want there to be a plus size queen just as much as I want there to be. I mean, it was like what 3-4 seasons before there was a non-black queen that won. You know, and I also want there to be an older queen, and I would love for there to be a Puerto Rican queen. Like, there's all these categories of queens, and I would love for someone in each category to win one day. But there's not a single category that I would want that category to win just to represent their category. Like, I want the person.
I hear what you're saying.
I want the person to win to be the best one, and if anything, I want the person to win to be the underdog. I think that's what I want most ever.
Huh.
Like when what was her name? What was her name? After Sharon Needles.
Jinx.
When Jinx Monsoon won, I feel like that was one of the until Bianca. When Jinx won, I think that was one of the most gratifying wins for the audience because
I don't agree with you because I didn't want Jinx to win.
Really? Who did you want, Roxy?
Alaska.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And I was not alone. Alaska had a lot of fans.
Looking back now, I actually kind of feel like Alaska would have been the better win. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Look, Jinx is incredibly talented, and I love Jinx, so it was hard for me because I'm just such an Alaska fan. Like, it doesn't matter who's up against Alaska. Like, I want Alaska. So it was really hard for me. But, I don't know. I don't know. Look, I just really like Ginger. I've liked her from day one, episode 1. I think she's super funny, and I think that she is super cute.
She's so cute. She's so cute. She's so smart. I really do like her.
But I love her looks, and she really, really knows how to dress and work her body. Mm-hmm. And that's the key to being plus size is knowing how to look great, and which is hard because they don't make clothes for you. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see as things carry on. Sometimes I change my position, but she makes me giggle. That's really the key to my heart.
Yeah. So who else? Who did well in the runway challenge, and who did you not like? I'll give mine first. Katya killed it with the shark.
Yeah, Katya was my favorite. So
I think actually my favorite though I would say was Kennedy, with her like chicken horse crystallized. I'll come back.
You know what the thing with Kennedy? It was just such a clear concept, just really crystallized.
Yeah, very crystallized. No, my favorites were Katya. Max killed it with the look.
Oh yeah, I loved Max's.
I thought Max. Say what you will about Max. I think Max is just a classic beauty as a queen. Just so feminine, so statuesque. I'm always loving her looks. I think Fame was okay. It was a little showgirl costumey for me.
Yeah.
Pearl, again, I loved. Not only did she have a funny look, I mean, it didn't really show dead. It just showed like injured. But I loved her and her physicalization of it. It was another opportunity where I'm like, wow, Pearl's really out of her shell now. Jaden, I really like the orange jumpsuit look. I didn't love it, I guess, but it was good. And Violet in the tight corset. You know, I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, but when Bob and I went to Atlanta last year to see Bob's mom, Bob did a show with Edie Cheeseburger and Violet Chachki, and I forget who the other queens were. But I met Violet Chachki. I remember her showing off her waist size and how tiny she was, but I didn't think anything of, like, you know, when you meet someone before they're on Drag Race, you don't remember, like, oh my god, I met Violet Chachki, but and anyway, her tiny waist. I'm just so happy to see that we finally have an example on television of a healthy body shape. Oh, no, not healthy, but like an attainable, reasonable body shape. You know, a sustainable, healthy body shape.
Well, she's a skinny mini, but it was a cool idea. I like her little oxygen.
But still, it was a little off the mark because it didn't show dead. Like, what did you die of, right?
Yeah, but she had a little oxygen tank. I don't know. And then,
yeah, but like, oxygen shows that you're still breathing, right? It doesn't show that you're dead.
I don't know. Dying. I liked it.
I really did like it. It was a great look. It just, whether it hit the chest. That's why like Katya got it, because she showed like this was the cause of death, eaten by shark. But
I know. I was so charmed by Katya's Death Becomes Her look. It really was my favorite one.
Ginger's bear thing was a big miss for me.
Bear?
When it comes down to like Ginger versus Katya, I feel like Katya always gets it. She always delivers. She's always on point. Always meets the challenge. And I can't really say that about Ginger.
Glamazonian Airways is my rebuttal to that.
Look, I don't know.
Hey, we already had this conversation.
We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to talk about it. So I did not like Ginger's.
I didn't look. I'm not.
Did you like Ginger's bear?
Look, if we get to the top 3 and we need to argue about who we prefer, we can do it then. I'm not trying to compare Ginger to Katya right now. Yeah, I think I like
you
Pearl
won't see
too.
both of them in the top 3.
I still am not comfortable making that prediction just yet. I'd like to wait till top 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Katya and Pearl and Max were probably my favorites. Death Becomes Her. I loved Max's. I almost always love Max's looks. I really am so much more fond of Max than I ever thought I would be. I don't know. So sweet, so genuine, and that was the thing that I thought she lacked. I thought she lacked a genuine heart, but she's got one, man. What a sweet pea.
So Ginger did the bear thing, didn't like. Kennedy, let's not even talk about Kennedy. Let's not even go into it. Candy Ho, just like, girl, play the game or don't. Like, Candy Ho does not need to be discussed at this point in the show.
Well, she was a vampire, which is like total cop-out.
It doesn't mean anything. Like, what do you die? Well, I mean, I guess vampire means I guess technically vampire means you are dead.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get it.
I don't know.
I just think it's a cop-out because
it's a Halloween costume is what it is.
Vampires are the undead. So they're beautiful, and, you know, it's like, it's a cheat because she got to just be beautiful and then put teeth in and be like, I'm undead. It's a cheat. I don't know.
I'm actually Facebooking right now. I am this confident that I am putting it on Facebook. Here we go. I'm
about top 3?
I'm putting my top 3. I said I'm going to go ahead and call it top 3: Katya, Ginger Minj, and Trixie Mattel.
Well, that's really ballsy because we don't even know that Trixie is back yet.
I know. Oh my god. I mean, come on.
I know that we know, but we don't know.
I don't actually know, but I know. So. And I mean, and I even said it to her in person. I'm like, girl, I know they're bringing you back. And like, it's funny because like she did not say yes or no. She didn't even give me a look. She in no way communicated anything that would let me guess. And it makes me think, like, what is at stake if these girls slip? Because they must put the fear of Jesus in them, because I cannot imagine hanging on to a secret like that.
Yeah.
That would be I would basically go to Iceland for the entire time that the show was airing if I were on it, because I'd be like sitting up there like, I'm not talking.
Two of the bugs just had a fight.
Oh dear, what about?
I don't know. They fell. And that guy looks like he's talking to them now.
So anyway, the RuHollywood story, I don't even feel like going into it because, like, I didn't like it. I liked the idea for the challenge, but, like, the actual execution of it, I did not find it funny. I did not find it entertaining. I did not find it enjoyable. Especially, like, but the security cameras caught everything. I'm like, what are they doing? The Macarena? Oh look, you're doing a handstand. Yay! Like,
no, it was pretty boring. It wasn't very good. I mean, I agree with you. It lacked.
You know what? You know what? No one is losing any sleep about what happened to Merle Ginsburg. I don't think anyone cares.
I care more about what happened to Santino. What happened to Santino Rice? Yeah.
I care more about what kind of woman is it going to take to satisfy him.
It's going to take me.
Is it? Well, get on it.
Macaroni lasagna making skills.
So, bottom two came down to
Candy
Ho again. Big surprise there, and Jaden.
Yeah, that's too bad. I like Jaden.
Well, yeah, I like Jaden, but I'm glad Jaden had a chance to, look, if you're bottom two and you get a chance to lip sync, you just get one more chance to show off. I mean, Katya's second episode was bottom two. Again, stupid choice for the bottom two. There's no reason for her to be there. What? Because
Yes, there was! Oh
there are people who did worse in the overall episode than her.
You're obsessed with Katya and you think she's perfect. She blew it in that episode. She deserved to be in the bottom two.
I didn't realize it until you said it, but I am obsessed with Katya, and I do.
You are.
I would love to meet and hang out with Katya. I think she's awesome. And the thing is, for whatever stupid reason, the minute she walked into the workroom on episode 1, I was like, I don't like you. I don't know why. Not that I didn't like her, but there was something about her that I'm like, I'm not. I think it was like the Russian, Dr. Zhivago look. Only because I
had this conversation before.
Yeah, but I'm not even gonna say she won me over. I just came to my senses and realized she's got it going on.
Yeah, well, stop saying that she's perfect because she did fuck up in that episode. And look,
Laura, what you're forgetting, okay? The key to a swollen vagina is what?
The great American painter Bob Ross.
Courage.
You keep forgetting my favorite part is the Bob Ross.
I keep forgetting that part, but so I guess that's it for this episode, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So why don't we end this one?
Yeah, I really want to turn this light off because I feel like the bugs are really.
While Laura is trying to not become Tippi Hedren in The Birds, is that what it's called, The Birds? Anyway, while Laura is trying to
I love a bird right now. A bird would be very helpful.
While Laura is trying not to get eaten alive by insects or InSync. You don't want to be eaten alive by either of those. I'm going to say thank you so much for tuning in. And, hey, share this. Share this with your friends on Facebook. And tweet.
Yeah, get your RuCap on.
Why don't you tweet these episodes on the Twitter and at Drag Race or whatnot, just so all the queens that we've bashed can hear what we said about them. On the tweet. And then go to Big Fat Vegan Radio and click on Support Us to become a member. And other than that, yay, go vegan.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye. All right, all done. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Have a good night. Bye.
No way.